I've spent a lot of time playing Smash Ultimate, enough to even get a world record. But not a lot of my playtime has included the Miis. I thought they were confusing, ugly, and a shell of a character compared to others. Like, you can't even get them when you play random. They are definitely the black sheep of the cast. Recently though, there's been an uprising in YouTubers that make great videos on the Mii characters. I thought these creators were dope, but I thought they were wrong. There's no way the Miis can be fun, right? Have I been missing out this whole time? There really was only one way to find out, and it's by finally giving them a proper shot and truly experiencing what the Miis have to offer. All 243 moveset combinations. For those of you who don't know, the Miis, like every character, have 4 special moves with up B, side B, down B, and neutral B. However, their gimmick is being able to choose their special move from 3 different options. That's 81 possible combinations for each Mii, making them kinda intimidating to get into. But I saw this mountain of Mii movesets and took it as a challenge. I was gonna play each one, and only moving on to the next moveset if I won a game online, or if I lost 3 times in a row, because at that point, fuck it. The goal is to truly experience these characters and then see where they end up on my personal fun tier list after this to see how much of my impression of them has changed. Because let me tell you, I discovered a lot about the Miis in this endeavor, and I am here to give you the truth about what I've found. Let's start with the biggest thing. These characters are cheaters. I did not expect this. Like, all of them have at least one move designed with evil in their heart. Take me Brawler, for example, who has a move that has a comeback mechanic installed, where it gets stronger the more you get beat up. Onslaught is a relatively laggy move, but it also kills characters from the middle of the stage that have no reason dying at that percent. It's kinda hilarious.
Miss.
He's done.
Miss.
I'm done. Spot dodge. Easiest game of my life. Even more hilarious is the fact that because Online Smash doesn't disclose which moveset you have equipped, you can save this Giga Kill move until a clutch moment. You ain't gonna see this coming. Ah, better not doing. Ah, baby! Go outside. Oats! This move frankly made me curious and excited to see the rest of the evil the Miis were hiding, since I had no idea Onslaught had that much power behind it. Cause see, most people know about Thrust Uppercut, for example. That's like the iconic Mii Brawler cheese move. Same thing with the Spiking Up B, where it's super easy to trade stocks. But there was a Mii move. Mii move. I genuinely did not know it existed in my 7 years of playing Smash. Mii Sword Fighter's Blurring Blade. I have no fucking idea what to expect. I've never seen this shit. No Mii Sword Fighter ever uses it, since the other neutral Bs he has are projectiles that combo and zone pretty well. But this neutral B, this one has its merits. What percent did that kill at? Holy sh! This move has insane knockback, meaning it sends opponents really far no matter their percent. So you can just rob stocks in broad daylight. Oh, got him. Kill that 60, cause fuck you. Like, sure, it's slow, but the fact you can face one direction and reverse it at the last possible second shows the malice that was crafted within this move. Gunner isn't exactly free from cheating too, but I think some of us unfortunately know the pain that is Grenade Launcher. This shit is so dumb. Like, if you have a linear recovery or even just get caught without a jump, it's kinda over for you. However, this might be a little less cheater and leans more towards just straight up evil. Oh yeah, this is the good stuff. This is the good stuff. No, sorry, Corin, you're not playing the matchup well. Speaking of Gunner though, did you guys know he's secretly obese? Like, I thought they would be around Pit or Crom's weight, relatively mid. They are the same weight as Link and Captain Falcon. That is significantly chunkier than I thought. Like, wow, what else are we hiding? See, this makes me understand why some YouTubers are coming out and explaining the secret of these characters, like Ramble here, showing how ridiculous Hero Spin is at killing.
Sword Fighter's version of this move is much stronger.
Which, yes, this shit does murder. However, it will also end up murdering you as it goes like 2 feet above his head, and that's it, so good luck getting back to stage with it. Cause see, while we do understand a bit more about the cheater qualities the Miis have, they also have so many awful moves. Take Mii Brawler for instance. On one hand, you have Feint Jump, which is a knockoff Zero Suit flip kick, but it's still so fucking great, like amazing recovery move and mix-up option that can carry you when you're getting pressured by opponents. Let me show you the other down Bs we're working with. First, you have Head-On Assault, which literally has ass in its name. It's incredibly goofy. You just fall really fast on your head. Sure, it can kind of be spammed online sometimes, and you can potentially snipe a spike with it, which is funny, but it's so slow and laggy that you will be slaughtered any other time you try to use it. No! Fuck. So yeah, pretty bad move, but then me Brawler's other down B option, Counter Throw, might as well be shit incarnate. Now this move has a second highest damage multiplier for a counter in the game, okay. Let's take a look at the strongest one, which is Arsene down B and try to trigger it. It's pretty easy, right? Lasts a while, covers his whole body. Alright, let's check dipshit over here. Bruh. I had the misfortune of learning why this is considered one of the worst counters in the game. Like the fact it doesn't activate with projectiles like literally every other counter does is insane. The counter is a grab, so long-range moves don't even work properly against it either. You need to be right in front of him. And you'd think this move would be at least sorta effective in certain matchups, right? Like take Banjo and Kazooie. Wonder Wing is an invincible, strong side B Banjo relies on to kill. However, Wonder Wing loses to grab, like you can straight up grab Banjo in the middle of it. Do you see where I'm going with this? If I counter Wonder Wing with my grab-based counter, this shit should kill Banjo at like 20% at the ledge. I was so excited to try this. I countered a Banjo, I instantly thought it, and at the very end of the game, we both had one stock, and I managed to predict he'd use his Wonder Wing. Oh, what? Bro, oh my gosh, that shit is so ass. I read it, but it lasted like 1 millisecond, and it didn't work. Bruh. This move was active for like 2 milliseconds. Not only did this move get owned by projectiles, not only does it have a tiny hitbox, but you're telling me it's also active for this little? I shouldn't be punished this much if I spam it, being that it's so trash already. So as we can all see when looking at Brawler's down B options, it's like asking would I rather have diarrhea forever or a free puppy? Why the hell is this even a choice? But I unfortunately learned that it gets worse than I initially thought. Cause see, it's one thing when they have a silly move like a discount Falcon Punch, cause for the most part, I just don't use it and it's fine. But when it's tied to your recovery, your fucking lifeline, that's when it becomes an issue. The Miis are plagued with so many recoveries that go nowhere and urge you to kill yourself for the sake of killing your opponent. No. Brawler helicopter kick sucks for reaching ledge, but boy will it kill. Oh, I understand. Okay, cannon jump kick goes nowhere, but hey, it'll spike the hell out of your opponent even if you're losing by a lot. Sword Fighter is guilty enough of this with Hero Spin, but he also has Skyward Slash Dance, which doesn't kill, and has the bonus ability of having the drift speed of Little Max up B. So yup, this is just a kill yourself move and not the opponent. Seriously, I have SD'd and lost leads and games with some of these up Bs, but also have some fire, incredibly funny kills with them. They are so inconsistent. It's like having a permanent green goblin mask telling you to just fucking ball and see what happens. But see, that's the lesson behind these two chapters. Understanding the dishonest and the awful of the Miis lets me value the moves that were actually pretty enjoyable on these characters, starting with the non-specials. Take Neutral Air for instance, one of the most universally decent options every character has that they can use while in the air, with especially good nairs being able to kill or combo really well. Most people know about Brawler Nair just being a simple, albeit very effective nair that's just super fast and lets you combo into other moves pretty reliably. Gunner's Nair, however, was surprisingly really fun. Just a big, meaty hitbox that lets you bully some characters off stage. It's great. Sword Fighter had a similar nair to Gunner, although it's their back air that is the money aerial for them. Like, wow, this move is fast as hell and kills well, and also combos? They could honestly be one of the better back airs in the game. It has a lot of potential for those 10 skilled Mii Sword Fighter players out there. But you know what move you don't need skill to use? Mii Gunner S Smash. Holy shit, this move is hilarious. It was always incredibly annoying to get hit by this move online, but now that I wield the power, it's great! really makes you feel like a master of keeping people trapped on the ledge, because this move requires zero skill and timing. It is active for like 10 years, and the range, filthy, meaning punishing people who do a spot dodge or a lazy option at the ledge will devour bullets. Like, sure, it's laggy, but if you space it well and it hits their shield, you are not going to get hard punished, if at all. That's if their shield can withstand the power. Another online killer is Sword Fighter Down Air. It's like if Kirby Down Air died and got reincarnated. This move is so good at edge guarding because of the way it drags down and it lasts so long, so you can just go out there and ball most of the time, if you pair it up with an up B that can recover. And the last default move I want to mention is Brawler Up Tilt, because wow, this move is fast as hell and combos so beautifully into up air, which combos beautifully into thrust uppercut. Like, did he really need this? Come on, what is this? I mean, me's just try and cheat. This is what I mean. But alright, let's get into the good special moves, of which there aren't too many. I mentioned a bit earlier, but bruh, Feint Jump is like the Jesus of Mii Brawler's down specials. Not having this move is a sin. It just buffs up your ability to live longer like 10 billion times more than the other bozo down Ds. His other solid move though is Suplex, my beloved. A move that goes through shield and does close to 20% is so good on Mii Brawler. Like, sure, it won't kill, but frankly, Brawler has enough moves that kill, so a mix-up option that does good damage is fantastic. And of course, as is tradition with Mii Brawler, you can cheese with it. For Sword Fighter, most people know about Gale Strike. It's a solid combo tool and takes up good space, and even though it's slow, it's a preferred move for Mii Sword Fighter. But Shuriken Alight was a very interesting move. At first, I thought it was kind of ass, since I found out if you use it right in front of an opponent, it literally doesn't even flinch them. But that's not what it's for, you know? It's a lot better with a little bit of range since it's a fast poking tool, and honestly really solid for combos if you're feeling spicy. It just overall felt a lot more universally applicable than I really thought. Shout out to Chakram and Gale Stab 2 for Sword Fighter as side Bs. Chakram being a weird little guy that took me 7 years to find out you can angle this. What the fuck? You can angle this? Gale Stab is also low-key ridiculous. Shout out Ramble for this vid, he will explain it much better than I can, but this move is so good for getting you past the ledge since it has so little end lag and it's pretty fast. Gunner, on the other hand, didn't have too many special moves that were super great to me. Like, I already talked about the evil that is Grenade Launcher, but he also had the Samus knockoff Charge Blast. This move is impossible for it to be bad. Like, literally every variation of this move that exists is top tier. I do think Gunner at least had the best recovery moves overall. They each got their own downside, like Arm Rocket doing 0 damage, and Lunar Launch being too horizontally restrictive, and Cannon Jump Kick. I can't. But frankly, I take these over the more polarizing drawbacks the other Mii up Bs had. So, now that we understand the best and the worst of what the Miis have to offer, I'm gonna kind of just rapid fire some of their moves that were just mid, so we can get the full picture. And also, so my 35 plus goddamn hours of me gaming weren't in vain. But if you subscribe, I'll do more vids like this if you want me to. I actually had a bunch of fun streaming it on Twitch, so let me know if you want to see more. Anyway, here we go. For Gunner, for example, I rarely ever see Laser Blaze equipped. I thought it was extremely underwhelming at first, but it's actually a Rage Bait King. It's basically like a slightly faster Falco Laser that annoys the hell out of your opponent. Definitely usable, just not as good as the other two more polarizing options. Two of Gunner's down Bs are just very matchup dependent with a generic Reflector and Absorby move. Hard to rank overall because Absorby down B is god tier against Snake, for example, since you can absorb everything he uses with his explosives. But it's useless against Captain Falcon, who has no projectiles. Gunner's side B Flame Pillar was good, but also a tad disappointing. It wasn't bad, but this Arc Fire knockoff could really only combo into one move, aka Shark Shot. AKA, I had that equipped like a third of the time, so if it wasn't paired with that, it was just the decent zoning tool. Another side B that was just fine was Exploding Sidekick for Mii Brawler. I watched this video from FirethePyro that talked a lot about how you could extend the length of it a shit ton by B-reversing it, and it seemed so cool and awesome. But it just made me realize I am bad at this game and have no tech skill since I just kept killing myself. Okay, that's not it. When it did work, I felt like the most fire gamer alive. Oh, shit! Oh, I did it! Oh, I did it! Whoa, that shit went far as but it had like a 40% success rate. Definitely a skill issue, but still mad. Honestly, with Brawler overall, I'd say his moves were either solid and usable, or they pissed me off. There was no in between with him. God, I hate this fucking moveset. Sword Fighter, on the other hand, oh, that bozo got some mid-ass moves. Stone Scabbard, for example, is an up B move that I had a love-hate relationship with. See, most up Bs that operate like Stone Scabbard don't go far horizontally, but go really high vertically, while falling really fast. So they're usually solid if someone pressures your shield or can at least spike you on the way down pretty consistently. Sword Fighter's up B is ass at both of these. Oh, really? I don't know who programmed this, but people constantly fall out of this move when you try to use it. So for spiking, for pressure, it's really not that good. Sometimes it connects to spike and you feel like you hit the lottery. Oh, let's go! Finally, up B does something! But it is genuinely tragic offensively. However, it is by far the most reliable one recovery-wise, since it goes the highest of any of these type of up Bs, making my life easier getting back to stage, and so frankly, it became my most preferred up B to use by the end. And of course, his infamous side B, Airborne Assault, was also just meh. Ah, dude. I'm gonna get to it later, but this move honestly just reminded me how Sword Fighter is a drag sometimes. Like, this move is so unsafe on shield. It definitely lost me the games a few times when I tried to hard read with it. No way, brother! Oh my god, I don't know why I lose that. Alrighty, so now that I've given you a glimpse of these characters and their moves, we are able to answer the question. So I have this tier list that outlines how fun I think a character is in Smash. Their tiers are pretty straightforward, it's my opinion. Anyone B and above is an overall enjoyable character for me. Let's start with Brawler. I assumed this character would be the most fun of the three because he's faster and can be played more aggressively, which is cool. Or really, what determined whether I was gonna have fun or not boiled down to if I had Feint Jump equipped. I even ran the numbers. Out of the 160 games I played with Brawler, I lost 16 times with Feint Jump, 27 times with Head-On Assault, and 36 times with Counter. Fuck Counter. His neutral Bs, on the other hand, were relatively close in success, all having between 25 and 28 losses. But if I got any side B that wasn't suplex, I was probably gonna lose. That move carried me too. I thought Onslaught would be better, honestly, and burning dropkick was definitely my fault for trying to cook too hard. Same idea with the up Bs, where if I got thrust uppercut, I was probably gonna win, and if I got helicopter kick, I was probably gonna lose. And like I said, wins don't necessarily determine if I have fun with a character or not, but no one likes losing. So if we just think about the Brawler moveset that vibed with me the most, aka Feint Jump, thrust uppercut, suplex, and shot put, I'm gonna put Brawler in B tier of my fun tier list, which is 2 tiers above where I'd put him before. Definitely a great improvement overall. It was really fun getting to know his combos and abuse his good moves. Although, also good to know which moves to avoid at all costs.
Look at this dude.
While Brawler's rushdown archetype is fun, most of my favorite characters to play in this game are swordies. You would think me Sword Fighter would have a big improvement considering this, but let's review real quick. This character is similar to Brawler, where the neutral Bs were actually extremely similar in loss rate at either 21 or 22 losses, which goes to show Blurring Blade goes kind of crazy. Down B was similar in loss rate too, with 2 of them being more niche and the other a mad burst option. Side B, on the other hand, was different, because 2 of them were really good with Chakram and Gale Stab, while option 3, aka Airborne Assault, was a goddamn liability. It constantly got me killed. Speaking of getting me killed, there was just one up B that would not do that, and it was Stone Scabbard. This was the most essential of all the me specials, with only 10 losses with this move equipped. As cool as killing early is, not getting killed early is essential, so Hero Spin just wasn't the move for me. I ended up playing 146 matches with Sword Fighter total. And if I were to consider my favorite moveset, aka Stone Scabbard, Blade Counter, Gale Stab, and Shuriken of Light, I'm gonna put Sword Fighter in C tier of my list. Just 1 tier above where I would have put him before. This character does have some fun moves like back air and down air, but overall I think he just has the least fun special moves and didn't vibe with me as much. And finally we have me, Gunner, the character that surprised me the most. For every single one of these characters' moves, none of them had below 20 losses, and none of them above 30, making this character very balanced with all the movesets. In fact, me Gunner is the only character I never lost my Elite Smash status with. Side note, I got all my characters in Elite Smash years ago, so even though the Miis are there, I haven't touched them in ages. Out of all the neutral Bs for Gunner that I used, Charge Shot lost the least since, let's be real, this move is just pretty universally applicable. Stealth Burst, for some reason, was my most successful side B, even though it was my least favorite, with Flame Pillar actually being my preferred one. And while Cannon Jump Kick is the worst up B on Gunner recovery-wise, it actually wasn't that bad. Okay, yeah, it was that bad, but compared to the other two bozos, I know it could have been worse. Lunar Launch had the least losses, but I think Arm Rocket was my favorite up B, since you could angle it for some great mix-ups. Down B for Gunner was by far his most boring moveset, two of them being super matchup dependent properties, and a third being a boring projectile. And even though this summary may seem like they were kind of bland, me Gunner rose up 3 entire tiers for me. I usually do not vibe with zoners at all.
This is disgusting.
But it was just funny as hell playing this character sometimes. And the fact they are so heavy and annoying meant I gotta rage bait my opponent constantly, which is kind of fire. Dude, is she going AFK? Bruh. While it was to varying degrees, I honestly appreciate the Miis a lot more now. They each have some interesting movesets, some designed for being optimal, and some designed for cheating, both of which have their purposes. Mii propaganda is at an all-time high right now, so why not give them a try? Thanks for watching, fellas. I hope you enjoyed this vid, and please subscribe if you did. I'll catch you later.